Women who are unable to get the health care services that Planned Parenthood is providing today will ultimately end up in the emergency room, and that will only add costs to our entire health care system, and the brunt of that will be borne by the average citizen.
Only a small percentage of what it does involves abortions. No state or federal money goes to that, but it provides valuable health services throughout North Carolina, particularly to teenagers and young women who don't have other health care providers.
In Forsyth County, our public health department have a 14-week waiting for women to receive services. And we know that those women that are not receiving those services and that they're on a waiting list, they're the women that's uninsured, there are poor women and women that don't have access to primary care.
It simply defies understanding that a few days ago in this House we voted to put a checkbox on the tax return so that women could have cervical and breast cancer screening. And today we're talking about taking away access to federal funds for that same screening. It makes no sense. I ask for you to support the amendment.
My question is, why is this provision in the budget? Why are they singled out and barred from being allowed to seek or be eligible?
Representative Womble and Adams and some others have brought to our attention many times the very bad history of North Carolina in its involuntary eugenics matter. Planned Parenthood in general, and Margaret Sanger in particular, its founders, were the driving force behind that effort. And I think as we're trying to fix history by even looking toward providing compensation to the victims of that, we should not be rewarding the perpetrators of that program.
Mr. Speaker, I think for the sake of all of us, this provision ought to be struck, this amendment ought to be passed, and we ought not be punishing people on the floor of the House of Representatives, whether they are agencies, entities, or people of this state, for things that we have no business talking about or punishing as a legislative body, let alone when we do it without even a legislative trial, without a legislative history, without even knowing the history, and relying on data that is not before the body as a whole. This is as unconstitutional as it gets.